O, teraz działa. Najpierw małe sprostowanie. Nie działa prezentacja, nie działa pendrive i nie działa Dropbox, więc niestety, przepraszam bardzo, będzie bez obrazków. Także będziecie musieli słuchać mnie. Przepraszam bardzo. Taka jest grafika, a no, technika czasem zawodzi. Przepraszam bardzo, jakby rzecz niezależna ode mnie. Sprawdzałam to w domu u mnie na komputerze, wszystko działało. No ale no nie będzie filmów z dubbingiem, no niestety, przepraszam bardzo, ale dobrze. To, co mam, powiem, bo to jest w tym wszystkim najważniejsze. Okej, także prelekcja jest po angielsku, więc przejdźmy na ten angielski. Okay, last year I was preparing my presentation about Peter Capaldi and how huge Peter Capaldi fan is. And then I found some very interesting photos which were in this presentation. Sorry, I can maybe put these pictures on my blog later, and you will later see this on my blog. I promise, I will put these pictures on my blog. 100% I will do this in the evening. So, I found some very funny gadgets, pictures, what fans are doing with Doctor Who. For example, they're making, for example, a house for the cats, which is looking like a TARDIS, etc. Very funny things they're doing to show their support to the Doctor Who drama. But I focused last year on Peter Capaldi and how huge fan Peter Capaldi is. So when I decided to came to Krakow to make my presentation, I was thinking about, okay, I will do about this gadget, sorry, but fortunately I did something which is not popular here, I suppose, because I look around the world how Doctor Who is presenting, for example, in USA or in Hungary. Why Hungary? I will be later. So, subject of this presentation was Doctor Who around the universe or traverse the universe. So, I will say something obvious, that Doctor Who is phenomena, and to be honest, in 2005, when series came back to British TV, BBC haven't imagined how huge it will be and how money they will earn. Now it's a brand on which BBC earns so much money. They earn money on us. Sorry. And when we think about Doctor Who now, we think about €1,000,000 around the world, and we think about modern era of Doctor Who, about everything since 2005. So first take a look about some classic era of Doctor Who. According to official BBC records, classic Doctor Who episodes were aired, how do you think, in too many countries Doctor Who was aired in classic era? For example, in 1960s, 1970s. Any ideas? How many countries? One? No, more? How many countries? Much more. 80 countries. Doctor Who was aired in 80 countries, but we are not talking about 1 year when Doctor Who was weekly aired, but from 1960s, from the beginning to 1980s and even 2005. Doctor Who was aired in 80 countries. I counted twice this. Believe me, I was counted twice to how many countries Doctor Who was aired. And, okay. The process of selling Doctor Who can be divided into 3 waves of 3 parts. Another question from me, which country was first? To which country Doctor Who was sold? First, USA? No, no USA. Okay, to New Zealand, and then to Australia. Why New Zealand and Australia? Explanation is very, very easy. We have something like Commonwealth nations. This is organization of countries which was under or still are under British ruling. For example, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. In these countries still the Queen is the head of state. So the first was this New Zealand and Australia, and from 1960 to 1970 and in the 1980s, members of Commonwealth of Nations operated in something we call it quota system. What is it? It's something like a percentage of some films, TV programs needed to be sold and purchased in other Commonwealth countries. For example, in New Zealand, people were watching, for example, something from Canada, from Great Britain, and in Great Britain, people have something from New Zealand, Canada, and some more exotic countries which are in Commonwealth nation of countries. So, and the BBC therefore had an obligation under this quota system to sell Doctor Who to Commonwealth countries. And the first wave, I mentioned New Zealand and Australia. And in New Zealand, Doctor Who was aired in 18 September 1964. Then was Australia, 1965. Then Singapore in 65, Hong Kong 66, and Canada 65. And from 1967, BBC began to exploit Doctor Who to non-Commonwealth countries and to non-English-speaking ones. And we had Doctor Who, for example, in Venezuela in 1967, then in Sierra Leone, also 1967, Mexico, 68, Doctor Mysterio. We have, and some two very exotic countries. Saudi Arabia, 1968, and Iran, 1969. In these two countries, Doctor Who was aired, Saudi Arabia and Iran. That was very interesting for me. I understand Canada, New Zealand, but Saudi Arabia and Iran. And we have then a second wave. In 1970s, color era came to TV, so increased opportunity to sell Doctor Who to other countries, to new countries. And then, in which country appeared Doctor Who? Here we have USA. In second wave, in 1972 in PBS was the first Doctor Who, when Doctor Who appeared. And in 1977, this year brought several sales also to Middle East. And in 1970s, finally BBC cracked the European market. And we have late 1974 or early 1975, we have United Arab Emirates. Then we have Netherlands in 1975, Qatar 77, Japan 1978, and the last country, European one, 1980. We still count it as a second wave. By the end of 1981, Doctor Who was sold just over 55 countries. And then we have a third wave, which begins in 1984 and lasts till 1986 or 1988. And this year, BBC also focused on Asian market and some in countries in Europe. So in 1985, BBC sold episode complete series with Hartnell, Troughton and Petterwee to USA, Canada, Australia and New Zealand. And 1986, after TV fair in Cannes, very important, very popular first TV fair, BBC tempted series to more European countries. Majority of these sold episodes were with Tom Baker. This is why Tom Baker is so popular and we had Tom Baker in this anniversary special. This is one of the reasons why we have this actor, this doctor on our anniversary special. And Doctor Who appeared in more European countries like Monaco, Yugoslavia, Greece, Spain, France, and Germany, but also Doctor Who appeared in Malaysia or Taiwan. It brings the country total to just fewer than 70 by the end of the 80s. So, to sum up, I had a very beautiful presentation slide with countries, numbers. I'm really sorry for this presentation, and I have so many funny pictures. I will put this on my blog this evening, so we can look at this and maybe have laugh in the evening. So 70 countries by the end of 1971, 37 by the late 1980, with around 100 million viewers, and 39 by early 1983, 98 million viewers, and 54 by July 1983 with 100 million viewers. 60 countries by late 1986, 110 million viewers, 66 countries by the early 1989 with 100 million viewers, and 60 again by 2003. In 2003, Doctor Who was aired in just around 60 countries. And classic Poland. Do we have classic Doctor Who episodes in Poland? Yes, we have. The first Doctor Who connected story appeared in Poland in 1970s. I said connected stories because we haven't some kind of episodes with Doctor Who. There were 2 films with Peter Cushing, the Peter Cushing Daleks films. In 1979, at 4:30 on first program, we have Doctor Who and the Dalek, and on 26th of December 1979, at 2:50 p.m. on second program, Daleks Invasion Earth. These 2 films with Peter Cushing's. The classic Doctor Who episodes Polish audience could watch for the first time in the early 1990s. Around 93, 94, there were Tom Baker and Sylvester McCoy doctors on channels such as BBC Prime, Super Channel or RTL, and in 1999 Polsat 2 broadcasted Paul McGann TV movie. But the real first our meeting with Doctor Who, the classic Doctor Who, has place in 2002. On April 2002, Tele5 aired the first Doctor Who episode. On this channel we could watch 26 episodes with Tom Baker, and in 2003 the same station aired 20 episodes of season 12. Episodes were of course with Polish narration. About Polish narration I will say something more in a couple of minutes. That was the reason in this year this Tele5, I don't know, we still have this Tele5 channel in Poland. That was the year when this channel started in Poland, so they decided, let's have Doctor Who, classic Doctor Who. And there was something about classic Doctor Who. Let's focus on new Doctor Who, which we know very, very well, I suppose. Okay, sitting here, we can admit that Doctor Who, when this drama returned in 2005, no one thought that this will be a phenomenon, that BBC would earn so much money on us. Yeah, we are buying gadgets, we are buying toys, we are watching, we're coming to this kind of comic cons. BBC should be very grateful. But when this first episode Rose appeared, it gathered in front of TV an audience of more than 10 million viewers. That was Peter Capaldi once said. When Doctor Who returned to BBC, he told to his daughter, you must watch this. I don't know if you like it, but you need to see it. Really. That's what Peter Capaldi, as a huge fan, said to his daughter. So, the selling Doctor Who is nowadays easier to BBC, not because we have the internet satellite, but we have BBC worldwide. This is the BBC's commercial arm. It was formed out of BBC Enterprise in 1995. The company sells BBC brands, BBC and other British programs. This is why we have, for example, in BBC, no, we don't have Lifestyle. We have BBC HD, BBC Earth, and BBC something in Poland. This is why we have, for example, these ITV programs like cooking and other stuff. So in 2009, John Smith, yes, this man's name is John Smith, and it wasn't Doctor Who or David Tennant. John Smith, CEO of BBC Worldwide, confirmed that Doctor Who is becoming one of BBC's super brands. What he said, I have this on my presentation. Doctor Who is a huge success story here in the UK, and not just on screens, but across toys, DVDs, magazines and books, which fans of Doctor Who buy to extend their enjoyment of show. Yeah, our enjoyment is much bigger when we have a toy with Peter Capaldi or with David Tennant. We already sell the TV program to other broadcasts around the world very widely, and now we want to extend success into the formats abroad too. To the end, Doctor Who will become one of small number of super brands to BBC worldwide. That was in 2008, what he said to Wales on Sunday. Now, according to information from 2013, Doctor Who is weekly broadcasting in many countries. Now, weekly broadcast of Doctor Who. How many countries? How do you think? 10? 80? 50 countries. Doctor Who is BBC's top 5 highest grossing titles, among with Planet Earth, Top Gear, or rather was with Top Gear, because we have the, okay, we don't have Top Gear. It's something, never mind about Top Gear. Spooks and Robin Hood. So the first episode of New Doctor Who, Rose, we know this, was aired on 26 March 2005, and BBC very quickly decided to sell drama abroad. For example, Doctor Who debuted, of course, first in where? In Australia and in New Zealand. Commonwealth is still a strong organization, not only for sports. So then Doctor Who debuted in Belgium and in France. So Doctor Who around the world means, of course, a lot of different titles and even languages. So Doctor and his companion speaks in different languages. For example, dubbing. I don't know, I hate dubbing. I watch Doctor with subtitles or without subtitles because I'm too lazy to read sometimes. So Doctor Who we cannot hear in English in Brazil or in Mexico, all these English-speaking countries, in Bulgaria, France, Hungary, will be something more in Hungary in a few minutes, Italy, Korea, of course South, and it was the first UK program to be sold to Korean TV. Before Doctor Who, we haven't got any kind of Korean or British film program in Korean TV. Of course, Spain, and in Spain we have Doctor Who in Basque and in Catalan, with the Basque and Catalonian languages. And titles. I have this beautiful presentation with titles. So, in Turkish is Dr. Kim, in Czech, Pan Czasu, in Spanish, of course, Dr. Misterio. as we all know, because of this Christmas special. Esperanto, we don't have Doctor Who dubbed in Esperanto, but we have Esperanto title, is Dr. Q. Of course, we have in French Dr. Qui, someone with French knowledge is here. Will be in French. I don't know French, sorry. In Hungarian, Kivodj doki, and we can translate it, who are you, doctor? Kivodj doki, some metaphor of Doctor Who. We have in Doctor Who Icelandic, team flag, it's translated like to time traveler. We have in Japanese, in Russian, Dr. Kto, and of course in Serbian, for example, Doctor Who. And what Dalek says, of course in Polish, not classic, and with this narration we have zgładzić, zgładzić, not exterminate. In German we have exterminieren, but in classic Doctor Who, in German language, there wasn't exterminieren, that was vernichten, with kill off, we can translate like queen, kill off. And in Finnish, tuchotka. Daleks in Finnish screaming tuchotka, tuchotka. I have this on my presentation. I will put on my blog, I promise. But zgładzić, think about zgładzić. Okay, I have 10 minutes. Yeah, super. Okay, New Poland. As I mentioned before, Doctor Who appeared in Poland in 1970s, but there were Peter Cushington's films. But Doctor Who appeared in Poland because now it's very cool to have in our schedule, for example, Downton Abbey, Victoria. We still have Victoria on first program. Yes, still is, I don't know. So this is very cool to have BBC or ITV shows on our television, but the idea of selling British dramas to Polish television came in 2006 or even earlier, because from 1st of October to 20th of December 2006, on first program of Polish television was broadcast the whole series with the Ninth Doctor. After episode World War III, station moved Doctor Who from Sunday 3 p.m. to Saturday 11 p.m. In 2007, I don't know, they thought maybe this is just for kids, not for young adults. In 2007, we were able to watch Doctor Who, but drama was cancelled suddenly without any reason. I know what's the reason. Nobody watches this, okay. Later, Doctor Who came back to TV, but it wasn't so popular, so we didn't have this. But station resigned from the license, but appeared in Poland BBC Entertainment, which filled this gap from 2007, when channel came into Poland. On this channel was aired also Torchwood, but spin-offs like the Sarah Jane Adventure was broadcasted on Cartoon Network and Teletoon Plus, and K9 on Disney XD. Yeah? I don't watch Disney. I don't have this channel. Okay, in some countries we have dubbing. In Poland we have what? Narration. This is only in Poland. I don't want to consider which one is better, dubbing or narration. Czytał Maciej Gutowski. I don't know which one is better. For example, BBC Entertainment was Zdzisław Szczotkowski and Janusz Kozioł. BBC HD, Marek Ciunel. First program was Maciej Gutowski, this man from radio. He reads in Warsaw, yes, Tube. I'm not from Warsaw, I don't know. On AXN, Jan Wilkans, and DVD, Krzysztof Gremski and Tomasz Orlicz. And I mentioned about Hungary. Why Hungary? Okay. Because I came here from Budapest. I live there now in Budapest, where I teach Polish language, Hungarians. Yeah, they learn Polish language. And Polish language is not so difficult to learn and to teach. So this is why I focus a little bit about Hungary, and I would like to say something about Hungary. We had in Poland Doctor Who in 70s. In Hungary, we have only this modern era. And very important thing you should know about Hungary, they dubbed everything. Not only on TV, which is normal, for example, in France, in Germany, they dub everything, in cinema too. So, I moved to Hungary, I discovered we have this, I have near my block of flat quite big shopping mall with Cinema City. I went to buy a ticket, and then I discovered that most of these films, 90% of films in Hungarian cinemas are in Hungarian. So imagine Benedict Cumberbatch in Hungarian, Doctor Strange. Okay, there are some films with subtitles, there's changing because they close one cinema with most films in English language, so they moved to my cinema, all these films, so I watch Hidden Figures and Jackie with Hungarian subtitles, but in original version. So, Doctor Who, I asked people from Doctor Who Magyarország, Doctor Who Hungary about Doctor Who. And I asked them when Doctor Who debuted in Hungary. Everyone told me 2007. It's not true. Doctor Who debuted in Hungary in 2006. But everyone from Doctor Who, this fan side, this Doctor Who fans told me 2007. So Doctor Who was aired on 19th February 2006 on RTL Club, and from August episodes were repeated on Cool TV. Doctor Who was also broadcasted on IXN and now is on Filmbox Premium. Okay, I told you about this dubbing, so they dubbed everything. I had this film, I put it on the website today so you could be able to watch David Tennant speaking in Hungarian, but they don't have any translation for the first season of Doctor Who. This is only with Hungarian subtitles, which is a little bit strange. Yeah, computer. So, for example, after the second season, they changed actor who was the voice of Barrowman. And when I asked this Doctor Who fans from Hungary about popularity of Doctor Who in Hungary, only one person said to me, "This is very popular." Everyone will say, Doctor Who, no. They don't have any kind of Comic-Cons like we have in Poland. For example, we have in Poland Pyrkon, in Poznań. In Hungary are very popular these cosplay things, but convents, the biggest Doctor Who convent in Hungary took place last year in 2006, or it was rather a meeting of Doctor Who fans. And I received some information who likes Doctor Who, for example, from this Doctor Who Magyarország website on Facebook. 59% is people from around 18, 24 years old, 32, 25, 30 years old, and how do you think? More women or men like Doctor Who? In Hungary, this is a good question to our Gallifrey.pl friends. Who likes more, women or men? In Hungary, 41 is for women and 58 is for men. This is statistics from Hungary, from this Doctor Who Magyarország or Doctor Who. Nie miałam, bo się zepsuła. Tak. Nie, tu można korzystać. So, Doctor Who is not so popular how it is in Poland, and I had in my presentation these funny pictures what Doctor Who fans are doing, but so I have to finish it earlier because time is running. So in USA there's a newspaper or magazine which is very popular. I didn't focus on something from UK because I was talking about Doctor Who and Peter Capaldi last year, so it was focused on British pop culture and USA. I pick up the most favorite for me. So we know nowadays Doctor Who is very, very popular in USA. Is it good or is it bad? For example, Americans said that it's not cool to them to watch Doctor Who with English subtitles because they don't understand Peter Capaldi. Scots, Americans. So in Doctor Who the popularity is very, very huge, and of course we imagine Doctor Who fans in America going to Comic-Con to San Diego, bigger, smaller Comic-Cons, but and everything must be 100 original in USA. The oldest Doctor Who fan organization in USA is Doctor Who Appreciation Society, DWSA, founded in May 1979 from Westfield College Doctor Who Appreciation Society. From editors and readers of the fanzine TARDIS, the society currently makes a month print magazine, Celestia Toy Room, which is sent to every member of the society. But we have also digital version of the magazine, is Cosmic Mask, and it is free from download from the internet. So if you are interested, you can download this from, you need to write down on the Google, the DWSA, or you need to write down on Google Cosmic Mask, and you are able to download a free magazine, digital magazine of Doctor Who fanzine from USA. It's very, very interesting. In my opinion, it's even more interesting than this Doctor Who magazine official one. You can download and you can compare this. Okay, I have these merchant toys on my presentation, so unfortunately I'm not able to show you them, but I will put on my blog. You can website www.wyspy.kultury.pl, or on Facebook Wyspy Kultury. When you write it down, you can find the fan page. So on this fan page I will put in the evening all this funny, maybe not a presentation, but I will put all these pictures of gadget toys and films dubbed in Hungarian language when Doctor Who is screaming in Hungarian. It can be very interesting and funny for you. Okay, so thank you very much. I'm sorry for this presentation, but